Hello everybody, it is Tom and welcome to another video.
I've been going to some dark places. I hate it when my mind races. I've got so many.
So hello, you may have noticed that I have not uploaded a video in approximately 1,000 years. Life unfortunately has been really kicking my ass as of late. I have a book coming out tomorrow as of this taping because it's Thursday and it's coming out on Friday, February 21st. And that is Remember Me, a queer ghost story. So definitely check it out if you like that sort of thing. But yeah, so I've been busy with all the prep that goes into a book release. And I've been editing the Dreamers audiobook, which I finally finished and sent off to the publisher, only to be told immediately afterwards that there's problems with all of the tracks. And I have to go back through every single one of them and make adjustments that I don't actually know how to make. So that's going to be fun. My day job has been super busy and has required a lot of my energy and attention. And on top of that, there have been various ups and downs in my personal life that I won't go into here, but which have definitely been making focusing on anything else a little bit challenging. So a lot has been going on, and now it looks like I might be moving next Saturday. Potentially, possibly. We don't even know for sure, because an apartment very suddenly became available in my price range, in my old neighborhood. It has actual natural daylight and overlooks a park, has a dishwasher, is just exactly where I want to be location-wise. So I'm still waiting on the lease because there's some holdup with the previous tenant, so who knows what's going on there. But as soon as I get the green light, I'm going to have to hire movers. It might be like a few days ahead of time. Hire movers, pack up all my stuff, get that. Yeah, the summarizing statement is it's been wild times over here in Tomland. And, it doesn't help that the world is worlding right now, or at least America is America-ing. And anyway, the reason we're here today is that I really wanted to give you guys something, some kind of video, especially for the very patient people over on Patreon who are continuing to be amazing and support me despite the total lack of content lately. So we're going to be talking about Heartstopper, of course, and some of our favorite seasons. And some of our favorite scenes from season 3. So I asked you all in a recent community post over on YouTube to tell me your favorite scenes and moments from season 3. And so in this video, we're going to go through them, we're going to talk about them, and for anybody who didn't get to participate in the original post, or who just discovers that they have more to say, feel free to comment on this video with your favorite moments. So yeah, okay, that's what we're going to do. All right, so let's get into it. And we're back, and I really hope it is recording, because if it's not, I'm going to have to do this again, and I don't want to do this again. Okay, so hello. We're back with fancy screen capture mode. Ooh. So as I said, recently I posted on the community tab on YouTube asking what are some of your favorite moments or scenes from season 3 of Heartstopper, and several folks replied. So we're going to go through and we're going to look at those and we're going to talk about them. And I would love to hear what your favorite scenes are, or your favorite moments are, or which of these you agree with or disagree with. Okay, let's see what you folks said your favorite scenes were. So I've done a sort by new, and we're going to scroll down to the bottom, so we'll look at the oldest first and then work our way up. Okay, so our first favorite scene or moment is obviously every scene with Aunt Diane. And yeah, I have to agree, I love Nick's Aunt Diane, and I love Haley Atwell in general, so I was always going to love her, but especially because, of course we didn't have Olivia Colman this season, so that was a blow. It would have been nice to have her there, and we just have to imagine she's always in the other room, or has always just stepped out for a moment, or is busy hanging lots of Christmas lights on the roof or something while other stuff is going on. But yeah, the fact that Diane's main purpose was to have that beautiful scene with Nick on the beach, and we see Nick just breaking down, we see his side of things, how difficult it is for him dealing with this, how much he wants to help Charlie, and just I really love the move that they made of her being a trained psychologist. I mean, is it a little convenient? Yes, but also it's perfect for what this show always tries to do, which is to model how to deal with things and how to relate to people and help people and have like intelligent conversations about things. So yeah, so I love everything they did with Diane, and A++. So yes, I agree. Okay, next we have in episode 2 the scene on Nick's bed when he's finally telling Charlie that he wants him to talk to someone about his mental health, and Charlie's response and Nick's response to Charlie's. It's such a beautiful scene. The repeated, I know it's hard, I know it's hard. Yeah, so that scene, I mean, all of the scenes, we really saw Kit and Joe doing some really spectacular acting this season, and this scene was no exception. Like, and again, with modeling how to deal with these kinds of situations, that scene where Nick, using what he's learned from his Aunt Diane, finally broaches the topic with Charlie of talking to his parents, getting help, the way that he supports Charlie through it, the way he makes sure that Charlie doesn't feel judged and is just so supportive, while at the same time, clearly hurting a lot himself, having to see Charlie go through this. Like, yeah, it's a fantastic scene. I definitely agree on that one. And again, excellent acting from everyone involved. Okay, and then we also have all of Tara and Nick's private conversations. Yeah, I think like one thing I've really enjoyed this season is the deepening of the friendship, or at least how we've seen so much of the deepening of the friendship between Tara and Nick. Because Tara, and I think I mentioned this in my last reaction, but I don't know what this is. I think I mentioned this in the part 1 of season 3, episode 4, reaction and commentary video. But Tara is really the only person who's sort of consistently checking in on Nick and understanding that, obviously what Charlie's going through is so difficult, but it's also really, really hard to be the partner or the loved one of someone who's going through something like that. And Nick especially, like, I think Nick seems like a very strong, like, not that he's not strong, but he seems like someone who doesn't need help, if that makes sense. He seems like someone who's got it pretty together. So I think it's easy for everyone else to kind of, just assume that he's doing okay. But Tara is the one who is always checking in with him and making sure that he's putting himself first as well, or at least trying to look out for his own needs also. So yeah, Tara and Nick, A+++. And of course, Nick also is able to be there for Tara, though I think a lot of what we see in this season is Tara really being an amazing friend to Nick. So I agree. So next, we have I love the shower scene. They say I love you to each other, and episode 7 at the very end, and near the end of episode 8, when Charlie has the courage to play in the band, and also the very end of episode 8 when he asks Nick to take his shirt off. I love all the episodes. I hope we get a season 4. I agree. I also hope we get a season 4. But yeah, all of these also good. So spoilers, this whole video is probably going to be me saying, yes, I agree, because all the moments are good. Yeah, so the shower scene, I I enjoyed that scene, but also like it's not the shining Nick and Charlie moment, I think, because like Nick is, Nick being just stunned and also probably thinking like, oh, that's probably what Charlie wanted to talk to me about in the ocean, and instead I asked about his eating disorder. Shit. So, but yeah, I love that scene in the comics so much. I think it was funnier seeing it in the comics because it's just so hard not to be more emotionally affected by the live action version and be like, oh shit, oh no, oh guys. So yeah, but very good scene. So when they say I love you to each other, yes, also very good. I love when they're on the street and like Charlie says he loves Nick and like is going through his whole like, oh, you don't have to say it back, and Nick's just like, I love you too. I love you so much. And the way he delivers that line and the music in the background, so good, so good. Charlie getting the courage to play in the band, and yes, I love that. And we'll talk about this when we actually get to that episode, but the fact that, I've said before, I love the way that this show handles the dismantling of codependency, like the idea that it's only romantic if two people are so wrapped up in each other that they literally cannot function when they are apart. And like, I guess that's a romantic idea, but also, like, why would you want that? That's not healthy. So I love the idea that, like, you know, we have Nick like speeding with the girls, trying to get back in time, but Charlie's fine. Like he's able to find the strength within himself to play in Sahar's band and to do an amazing job and to wear the short sleeve shirt. That's one of my favorite moments as well. So yeah, great scene. But yes, so of course the scene in episode 8, the last scene when Nick and Charlie are about to be intimate with one another, and Charlie asks Nick to take his shirt off as well. Such a great moment, and I love the way it's just like everything slows down and it's such a quiet, intimate, beautiful moment. And Nick's response of like, "You are so fucking hot." Like, I love that so much. It's such a good scene. So yes, I agree. Okay, next. We have lots, but whenever I think of season 3, I immediately picture Nick sitting alone in that hallway and then breaking down and sobbing into Sal's shoulder. #friend goals. Yes, another fantastic scene. Yeah, that scene I think is so like the whole Halloween party and just how we see Nick slowly descending into like the depths of despair is really well done. And again, the evolution of Nick and Tao's relationship, where they started off in such a thorny place and now have gotten to the point where like Tao is the one who follows Nick. Tao is the one who sits next to him. Tao is the one who just silently comforts him as he cries. It's such a heartbreaking, beautiful scene. And yeah, A++, love it, love it, love it. Such a good scene, great acting from everyone involved. So, okay, next. So we have There Are Many, Nick receiving Charlie's birthday gift, the talk they have in Charlie's room after seeing Jack Maddox, the talk they have in Nick's room after Charlie's fight with his mom, the little talk Nick and Charlie have at Harry's house, followed by the whole New Year's scene, where Tori sees Michael for the first time, Isaac celebrating with James, Tao and Elle's moment, Darcy and Tara's moment, and ending with the most lovely New Year's kiss between Nick and Charlie, Charlie's talk with Jeff about confidence, the short film for Charlie, the short film for Elle, Charlie and Tao's phone call. I could keep going, but yes, just too many, yeah. Again, favorite moments of the season, all of them. But yes, all of these are very good. Nick receiving a birthday present from Charlie, which is the album, the photo album, and the picture of them in the sun. The talk they have after seeing Jack Maddox. Yeah, when Charlie admits, and again, I love that Nick and Charlie throughout the show have such excellent communication skills, but the fact that, you know, they start like they're making out and things are going in a definite direction. And I mean, what else are you going to do after you see Jonathan Bailey? And then, like, you know, the darkness keeps intruding on Charlie, and Nick's like, "Oh, should we stop? We should stop." And then, of course, Charlie's mom just bursts in and is like, "Ah!" But yeah, Charlie admitting that he's afraid for Nick to see him with his shirt off is such a relatable thing, and just very, very, I love that they talk about that openly. And, you know, I definitely have a similar fear of someone seeing me with my shirt off, so I understand quite well. Yeah. So, very good scene. The talk that Nick and Charlie have after Charlie's fight with his mom, also very good, because we get, like, I think we really see some of Charlie's strength and determination there, and we also see a lot of Nick's vulnerability, and Nick admitting that he feels kind of lost without Charlie. Yeah, the whole New Year's scene, the whole New Year's party scene, I love. I love when Tori sees Michael for the first time, and, like, the little snowflake flutters by. So good, so good. And then, like, I love Isaac and James kind of, you know, singing Old Lang Syne together and having their nice friendship moment. Yeah, all of that stuff is really good. Charlie's talk with Jeff about confidence, absolutely. Because I think it's really easy to not realize how strong or how confident you actually are, or like how much you've managed to accomplish without an outside like perspective telling you that. So in Charlie's case, you know, he thinks he's not very confident, but yeah, as Jeff says, like, he's the one who was kind of the driving force behind him and Nick getting together, because he was the one who found the courage to ask Nick, like, hey, would you kiss me? And that's what started the whole thing off. And yeah, both of Tao's short films, the one for Charlie, the one for Elle, Charlie and Tao's phone call, all very, very good. Love those scenes. And I loved seeing Tao exploring his new passion of making little films to cheer up his friends. That was a very cool thing that we got to see for Tao. So yes. Okay, moving on. Like so many others, it's so hard to choose. I love the whole scene by the sea jellies. I don't think we're talking about fish anymore is one of my favorite lines, and Isaac's whole arc is great. I love the Charlie and Isaac scenes, all of them. I love all the Tori we get this season. I'd love even more, and I'm looking forward to more in season 4. I shall continue to manifest. Me too. Fingers crossed. We've been through enough. We deserve season 4 of Heartstopper. I also love Darcy's Envy arc and Image's Comp Het arc. All the parallels and callbacks to prior moments were great, and the entirety of episode 4, genius. Jane's growth was huge and long awaited. Favorite side character, Susan. Yes. Yes, I agree with all of that. So Isaac coming out as Airways to everyone with the jellyfish at the zoo. Love that whole scene, the way, and like, you know, it's hard seeing all that Isaac goes through before that moment and like how he's snapping at his friends and just feeling really frustrated. But I love that we get to see Tao kind of coming around and showing growth again. Tao shows so much growth in the show and in this season, especially. But like, yeah, I love that scene and how simply and yet elegantly Isaac kind of explains how he's been feeling. And, you know, all the Charlie and Isaac friendship moments are beautiful. Tori, great. The fact that we get a non-binary arc for Darcy, fantastic. Yeah, and I do wonder, like, I assume that a lot of that came from the fact that Kizzy Edgel is non-binary, but I don't know. I don't know if that was... Because if so, that's really interesting. Because Alice is now incorporating that into the comics. Yeah, so I do wonder if that was ever something that Alice considered, or if it was strictly because of Kizzy. But either way, I love that. I love that we get that because it's very. I mean, we don't get enough non-binary representation in general, so I'm glad to see some of it, and especially coming from a character who we get to see kind of, you know, exist pre-realizing they're non-binary and then exploring that and being supported by their friends. Great. I love it. I'm trying not to do this every 2 seconds because like I keep wanting to just go like this the whole time because I'm like, yes, great. Okay. Yeah, and also Jane Spring, growth, love to see it. Wonderful stuff. All right, we have in episode 3 when they are on Nick's bed and Nick is opening Charlie's present and Nick says, "You like my smell?" Oh yeah. They wrestle with each other and Charlie says there's an actual present at the bottom of the bag. The expression of glee on Nick's face as he finds the gift. You can tell that Nick has not had many birthday celebrations before. Oh, we do know that Nick isn't really used to doing a lot for his birthday. Since he says he doesn't really do much for his birthday. But yeah, I think it meant a lot to him that Charlie gave him such a personal gift. Yeah, so. But yes, that whole scene was very good. And of course, I love that Charlie gives him, which is also in the comics, a bag full of the jumpers he has stolen first, and then has the actual present at the bottom of the bag. Okay, next we have all the scenes with Tori, especially in episode 5. She slips into Charlie's bed on Christmas morning. When she slips into Charlie's bed on Christmas morning, when she escapes to Nick's house in the evening, when she goes to sit with them on New Year's Eve, and of course the fated Spruldin meeting. Yes, all of those. Yeah, I love Tori always, but especially this season we get to see a lot more of her, and also a lot more of what she's going through. She's always just kind of existed as a support character to Charlie, and this season we get to see more of her for herself, which is great. And yeah, I love, like, the episode 5, Winter, is great. And I love that we get to see a lot more of Tori and Charlie and just, yeah, good stuff. Okay, so we have another vote for the scene where Nick and Tao are in the hallway. Tao comforting Nick hits hard. I agree, 100%. We have another best scene of the season. I do think it's a very, very good scene. I agree. Okay, I think people have already mentioned a lot of the good ones, especially Nick and Tao in the hallway during the Halloween party. But Nick, through most of episode 7, makes me laugh. Poor boy was too horny to function. Yeah, I mean, that's true. Like, I guess both Nick and Charlie throughout episode 7 were, yeah. Yep, no further comment, but yes, I agree. Okay, a few solidly good ones are the hallway scene with Nick and Tao. So yeah, most people have been mentioning that, and I agree, excellent scene. Isaac coming out at the Jellyfish, Imogen and Nick's talk while on the college tour, Tao showing Elle his video to cheer her up, Nick on the beach with his aunt, which is why my Discord status since that episode has been Love Can't Cure Mental Illness, and Charlie helping Tara with her panic attack. Yes. Yeah, so the two on here that we haven't really talked about yet, Imogen and Nick's talk while they're on the college tour. I love that scene so much, and Imogen finally admitting to someone else and to herself that she doesn't think she's ever liked a boy. So big, so important. And I love that character journey for our favorite ally. And also Charlie helping Tara with her panic attack is such a good scene. I'm looking forward to talking about that when we get to that in the reaction commentary videos whenever I have time to do those again. Because yeah, such a good moment. Like, I've often said that one of the only good things that has come out of me having anxiety and depression and all these other various things I have is that I've been able to help other people as a result. I don't know. I think it's really a way to kind of turn a negative into a positive when something that is so painful, you can use that to help someone else and make it easier for them. And the way that Charlie is, despite being very drunk, he's just so calm and comforting and soothing, and just like, I know that this is not in the cards for Charlie in the future, but he would have made an excellent counselor or psychologist himself. So, and even without doing that, he can still help people. So yes, I agree. Very, very good. All right, so we have so many. I'm going to try to keep it to one from each episode. So episode 1, the I love you scene. Episode 2, the phone call when Charlie acknowledges his eating disorder. Excellent acting from Joe here. I agree. Yeah, that's another scene. And just the way that the way Joe acts that scene is heartbreaking. And like when he starts to talk and kind of can't because he's about to cry and like just goes, mm-hmm. And that kind of stuff just, you can't see. Gets me every time. Episode 3, Charlie starts to talk to Mr. Ajayi about his ED. Yeah. And then Nick comes in and it's kind of cut off. Episode 4, Nick breaks down in Tao's arms. Charlie sneaks Nick into the woods for a kiss. Yep, that's a good scene. Episode 5, not a feel-good scene, but everything with Charlie's family seems incredibly real. Yes, I agree. Yes. Episode 5 has so many interesting things going on with family dynamics, especially in the contrast between Charlie's house and Nick's house. And we'll talk about that when we get to it. But yes, I agree. Episode 6, Charlie, Tao, and Isaac talk about sex. That scene is hilarious, and I love it. Episode 7, Mr. Farouk imagines his younger self. Yes, that moment is so poignant and beautiful, and I think it's how a lot of us feel, a lot of us older queer folks feel when it comes to Heartstopper. The idea of like, how much would this have meant to me when I was this age? And I think that's what Mr. Farouk is doing as well. He's kind of the stand-in for all of us in the older queer community who didn't have this when we were that age. He's thinking like, well, how much would it have meant to me to have a queer head boy when I was a kid? So yeah, amazing scene. And then on episode 8, Charlie has the confidence to have Nick take off his shirt, and Nick says he is so hot. Also, the girl's making Nick buy lube. Yes. Yeah, that scene where Nick is standing there with like the 3 girls arrayed behind him, and the guy at the counter is just like, okay. It makes me laugh every time. Okay, we have the I love you scene for sure. The way Kit delivers that line just touches me deeply every time I watch it. Yes, I agree. The I love you so much. Beautiful. Okay, and then we have There Are Many, and most of them have already been mentioned, so I will try not to duplicate. Episode 7, Charlie's face when he told Tao and Isaac that he got laid. He looked like a happy Cheshire cat. Yeah, that's true. I would say that's accurate. Episode 6, my favorite Imogen line. Sahar gives her a bottle of wine. Imogen says, "Is it sustainable? I want to do my bit." Yes, and I'm sure folks will jump out of the woodwork to comment this, but apparently that was an ad lib, that line. So great line. I did this again, but that's fine. And then episode 4, Charlie in bed with Nick's present. The lemur, very sweet tiny moment. Yes. Yeah. So we see like Charlie kind of snuggling with the lemur that Nick got him. I agree. Yeah. All right, we're almost there, folks. I was like, this will be a short little video. The whole season is so incredible. I agree. It's hard to choose favorites. Here are just a few less common ones. Mr. Farouk feeding Mr. Ajayi noodles with chopsticks in the art room. Yes, I love that. And then Charlie comes in and is like, hey. That's not what he says. Isaac and Charlie watching Emma together in Charlie's bed after Isaac goes over to check on him. Yes. And I love that scene. I love that scene altogether of just like, because Isaac is the only person aside from Nick who realizes that early on that something's going on with Charlie and actually asks him about it. And I mean, Charlie is not truthful with him because he's not ready at that point to talk about it, but nonetheless, major props to Isaac for actually like trying to help and asking Charlie about it and trying to be there for him. Nick getting flustered by meeting Jack Maddox. Yes. Again, Jonathan Bailey. I mean, who among us would not probably Isaac would not get flustered, but the quick flashbacks to young Imogen and Sahar in the tent. Yeah, that part is really cute as well. Nick telling David to shut the fuck up on Christmas. 100%. Like, I love that the very first time we get the F-bomb in Heartstopper is Nick telling David to shut the fuck up, because nobody else in this show deserves to be told to shut the fuck up as much as David does. So I'm so glad that was the first use of the F word. Yes. Okay. Tori and Michael clinking glasses while they observe Charlie's birthday party mayhem. Yeah, that's a great moment as well, kind of showing how in sync they are with each other. All we see of Tori and Michael is that first moment when they see each other at the party, and then we jump ahead to them already having an established relationship. And that moment is one of many that just shows, without any words at all, how good they are for each other and how in sync they are with each other. And I just love the way that they did that. And of course, I love Tori and Michael, so yes. And then Sahar admitting that the song is about Imogen. Yeah, that part's a good one as well. And then the whole scene where Charlie watches the tape Tal made for him was amazing. Probably the best scene in the entire show. Yeah, so I'm not sure for me personally, I would rank it as the best scene in the entire show for me personally, but I do agree that is an amazing scene. I love the whole video that Tal makes for Charlie, and just, yeah, the way that whole episode is just a masterpiece. So, okay, and finally, the scene under the streetlight, because you're Charlie, and you love me, and I love you. Yeah, that scene is really sweet. And like, as they're walking away, and Charlie's like, "Oh, you're so in love that you're gonna walk all the way to my house with no shoes on." And it's like, "Yeah, that's how in love I am. You do the same for me." And Charlie's like, "Yeah, I would." And just fade to black, and the music swells. It just, like, given how much heartbreak we go through in the first few episodes of this season, having little moments like that are so important and so wonderful. So yeah, I agree. And yeah, so that concludes your your comments regarding your favorite scenes or moments from Heartstopper. And yeah, I think you folks like came up with a ton of great ones, and there are definitely more because all the scenes and all the moments have something to recommend them. So yeah, so feel free. Here, wait, I'm gonna make myself big. I'm big. Feel free in the comments to talk about what your favorite scenes are, or which ones you agree with, or yeah, stuff like that. Okay, well, we're gonna wrap this up because I am tired as usual and I have shit to do as usual, but more likely I'm gonna lay in my beanbag, which is right over here, if you can see it, beanbag. But yes, so yeah, thank you so much for your patience. I know I have not been great about uploading content as of late, and I do hope that eventually, I really hope that once I get into my new place, things will settle down a bit. Hopefully, the actually being able to see sunlight will help in my mental health, and I will actually be able to do things. Also, that neighborhood is just so much nicer and has like lots of little shops and coffee shops and things where I can go work during the day if I don't feel like being trapped in my house all the time. So just, it looks like once I get in there, hopefully things will be on the uptick, and I'll be able to get back to actually posting things. So until then, you can still subscribe to the Patreon if you would like to support me or see daily pictures of Darla, because, daily cat pics are always going to improve your life. You can also follow me on Instagram. I post a lot of pictures on there. You can check out my books over on my website, tjbear.com. And as I said, my new book, Queer Ghost Story, Young Adult Fiction, Remember Me, is coming out tomorrow, which might be today when I post this. So yeah, you should do that. Okay. All right. Well, thank you so much for watching. Huge thanks to our patrons who are amazing, fantastic, wonderful, spectacular, and awesome. And a special shout out to our Nick Nelson members, Kelly Walker, Paul Z, Kim Engel, Kent Smither, Mark Walker, Sarah Parker Schemmelt, Courtney McAlexander, and Tanya. Okay, that's going to do it for this video. Have a wonderful rest of your day or night, whatever time of day it may happen to be. I'll see you next time. All right, bye.